INFJ friends. I hope you're doing well. I am back, and today I decided that my title is going to be possibly the world's foremost expert in what not to do in a relationship. One is my coffee, and the other is my smoothie. They're all necessary, especially at 51 years old, almost 52. And so this is my input here on a couple things. And I'm getting ready. I'm sorry, but the message can't wait. It just can't wait. So I did another video in which I was recounting, I was trying to convey a specific message on what will prevent an INFJ, and in particular I'm talking to girls because I am one, and that's my frame of reference, but what will keep a woman from, and an INFJ from, doing what she was called to do. We're all about purpose and all that. So, and I was talking about idealism in relationships. And I am a foremost expert on how horrible that can be. I have to be careful about when I talk about it, that I can sort of remain detached from my feelings or my heart, or not think too deeply into it. Otherwise, and this is the reality, guys, my brain slows down. I start to talk slow. It's like I've just been injected with a drug, and I can't think. And that still happens, and that's many years later after the, I guess you would call it, some people would call it trauma. It's not working. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to give tips here and there about what not to do. In particular, I really want to reach out to you young gals, you young INFJ, INFP, IN whatever girls, because you are more at risk. When you're talking about, starting a business, you look at what your weaknesses are, not just what your strengths are, because if you don't look at your weak areas, that's the part that can pull you down and pull the business down. When you're training for anything, you want to look at those weak areas and address those, because that's the part that pulls you down. And you rise higher when you not only work with your strengths, but compensate for your weaknesses. And we have them. We all have them. It's not, anything unique to the human race. We all have strengths and weaknesses. And I know that because as a perfectionist, it's very hard to admit when we're wrong or that we're not perfect, because we're trying so stinking hard all the time that it makes it very hard to look at our flaws. But I discovered at some point, a little farther ahead down the road from you here in life, and so I've got some things that might be helpful for you. And one of those is that I learned to make friends with the idea that I'm not perfect, and that's okay. It's totally okay. It doesn't mean that I'm not lovable. It doesn't mean that I'm not worthwhile, or anything like that. So that being said, I want to just encourage you, if you are particularly from a broken home, which so many of us are, that you will have an extra need for affection, and possibly, depending on how involved your dad was, male affirmation and male attention. And maybe this was more me than you, but I was connecting myself to guys, and to a specific relationship at a time, but that's where I was finding my worth and my value, and even though I had other areas that interest me, I kind of 86'd those, and in favor of relationships, I missed some amazing opportunities in life. I can think of two One was a once in a lifetime opportunity that I gave up for a relationship, and it will never come again. So because it's very real that we need to feel loved, we need to feel important, and we need that connection. Some of us need it so badly because we're not getting it. I understand that. My encouragement is to, number one, seek a higher power. I have mine that I believe in, and of course I believe that it's correct, or I wouldn't believe it. But that's not the point I'm trying to make right now. The point I'm trying to make is that pressing into a higher power that loves you, a creator, I believe, that loves you, is one thing that can help. Another is, in spite of the fact that we're painfully introverted at times, trying to expand our frame of I can't think of the word, but the people that we're exposed to, and our we may not have deep friendships, because our idea of friendship is a lot different than other people's idea of friendship. You know, we're looking for authenticity and all these really deep things, and the fact of the matter is that a lot of the people that they might even consider you friends with them, you maybe don't feel that you are more than acquaintances. But hang on to those. Get involved in things that, when you can, cause you to be involved in groups, and press into those friendships when you can. Any family that you have that is safe and healthy and loves you, oh man, hang on to them. I know that your parents are annoying, okay, because all parents are annoying when you are 15, 16, 17, 14, 13, you know, on up through. There's a certain age range where everybody's parents are completely annoying. And that's not unique to you. It's something that happens. And I don't know what happens to parents at that time, but certainly it's all their fault. No, I'm just kidding. Your parents aren't perfect, they're just people, and they're going to blow it. But whatever safe, healthy relationships that you have, lean into those as much as you can. And I would say, as a final note, and this is probably the most important, think about when you were a child and you ran as fast as you could through a field, and you had this absolutely exhilarated feeling of running through a field, and you couldn't help it. You were like so excited. You know, if you can remember back to that when you were little, something that gave you that exhilaration, whether maybe it was swinging on a swing really high and jumping off or something. There's going to be certain things that cause you to experience either that exact kind of exhilaration and joy, or something close to it. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's playing soccer, maybe it's box aerobics or boxing, or maybe it's riding horses, or singing, or there's a myriad of different things. You're you, and so you will have something that gives you that exhilarated feeling. And so I really encourage you to press into that, because number one, it's probably your area of gifting, and even if it's not your area of gifting, you're going to become gifted at it because you're so into it, and you have to spend a lot of time in something to get really good at it. It's going to bring you a lot of joy in your life, and when you have more joy in your life, it's going to bolster your confidence. It's going to give you energy. It's going to help prevent depression. It is going to do so many things that are good for you and energizing, and positive chemistry happens in your body. You're less apt to make foolish romantic decisions when you're already experiencing a lot of really positive things that fill you up. We need to be filled up. Our cups need to be filled up. And so my encouragement to you is press into what you love, that you really delight in, that really exhilarates you. Maybe it's hiking. I don't know. But press into those things, and so that you can find your delight and joy there. My encouragement, and I know this is completely unrealistic, but if at all possible, on relationships, wait. And I know there's even a lot of parents who won't agree with me because they want their kids to learn how to be in a relationship and stuff like that. There's some validity to that. This is only my point of view. Okay, it's just my point of view. And that is that because our brains are still developing, it's just a thing, okay? Our brains are not done developing until, guess what age? 25, okay? Some of us, our brains are not done developing until we're 25 years old. And so that means that our judgment maybe is not as good, or maybe we're more emotional. I'm not exactly sure how all of that manifests in showing that it's incomplete in the process, but the more opportunity that we have to become whole, become healthy, become strong, including our brain development, the better our judgment is going to be about how to handle, how to see a relationship, how to navigate a relationship. And maybe you're mature beyond your years. I don't know. But that's just my encouragement, to press into your delights, to press into your skills, to press into those things that bring you joy other than a romantic relationship. We've got our whole lives to do that. And if you disagree with me, it's okay. It's okay. Again, just my point of view, because I feel like youth is a great time to press into those joys and delights. And that a relationship with a romantic partner can really distract us away from our areas of gifting and our areas of delight. And yes, a relationship can bring you delight, but you don't want to be in a situation where you've put your delights off for your whole life, and then you're later in life and you're now trying to press into those delights, and you don't have as much time left, and you don't have as much energy. So those are just some thoughts that I have. Again, you may not agree with all of them. Take what is worthwhile to you, and run with that. And I just want to be of help. There's a lot of people who don't have a mom around, or maybe she's emotionally unavailable because she's human and she's struggling. That's real. So wherever you can get the positive, healthy, safe input, and as one INFJ to another, I understand the INFJ mind more maybe than somebody else does. So I'm coming at it from that perspective. These are things that I wish somebody would have told me, so that somebody would have taken time to talk to me about. And it probably wouldn't have been as receptive if it came from my parents. But if another woman had maybe told me these things, I probably would have listened. So here I am. Take it for what it's worth. You're already beautiful. Just go with those delights and strengths and compensate for those weaknesses by pressing into those delights. And relationships will come. They will come later. And in fact, you will have more to bring to a relationship. And confidence is very attractive. Real, true confidence. Being whole is very attractive. And that's not the point of it, but you want to be the best self that you can be. So that's it for now. You have an amazing day, and maybe we'll do more posts. We'll see. Have a good day.